Hey everybody, we're at Helium Comedy Club in Portland, Oregon. Logan went and got a novelty soda for us to try. So we're gonna have some, see what it's like before I go up. Oh, okay. Went with red. That's
okay. Ooh, this blood. This was either blood or kidneys.
Or kidneys?
This thing.
Oh wait, no, this does stink.
Bro, my ears ring.
Okay, you alright?
Make some noise for Josh Johnson!
I didn't know that we just wouldn't care anymore. I thought it's weird sometimes, as much news as I read and I watch, that sometimes there's a thing that you think, just in your head. Maybe it's because of what matters to you. You're like, oh, this is going to be huge. You'll see a thing, whatever it is, and you'll be like, this is the thing that's going to wake people up or freak people out, or no one's going to be able to stop talking about it, right? Different for all of us. But then, I don't know if this is a universal experience, but I think it is. Eventually, you get disappointed. You realize, like, oh, wow, this isn't as big of a story as it should be. People don't care as much as they should. Like, everyone's moved on, even though the thing isn't resolved. That's wild. And I didn't know that we would just stop caring about the drones that are flying over Jersey. Like, that seems like a big deal, and we just sort of let it go. Right? They still up there. Like, I guess they don't need batteries, because they are still, it's wild. There are drones that were flying over Jersey, and they're loud. They're very high up, but they are so loud that people compare them to helicopters. And they've been flying over Jersey for a while now. And, we all kind of thought, okay, they'll tell us what that is eventually. Someone will know. Someone has to know. Because at first people thought it was kids. And then when they said that the drones were like 6 feet wide, they were like, maybe they're rich kids. Maybe it's like... And then people... And then people started coming up with theories, because it was so loud, it was so disruptive, it's over like residential areas, it was so random and everything, that people asked the government. The government came out and they were like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. The government has never said, don't worry about it. Y'all, the government said, don't worry about it in American history. The government, I would honestly tell you to watch at least like one White House press conference, one like hour of C-SPAN. The most asinine, insane, minute questions get asked of the press secretary. And I'm not saying they always have a legitimate answer, but they always at least try to answer the thing in some capacity, no matter how dumb it is. They never say, don't worry about it. That's never been the tact that the U.S. government has taken. Don't worry about it. We shot a balloon immediately. Remember that balloon that we couldn't tell because none of the pictures looked clear enough if it was a child's balloon or if it was actually a spy balloon? But we shot it, I think, with a missile and said, that was a spy. That looked like China. We've still never fully confirmed that, by the way. No one has come out. China hasn't been like, we did send that balloon. That's our bad. We were feeling festive. We were playing. It's never happened. That is crazy. Don't worry about it. There are brown people just alive in other places, and the government's worried about it. Like that. Don't worry about it. That's crazy. So then people started to come up with their own theories. People started to be like, I don't know. I mean, I think it's a foreign entity. I think it's a foreign entity doing recognizance. They're spying on us. It could be China, could be anybody. They're using these drones to spy on us. And I was like, oh, okay. Maybe China sent a drone as loud as a helicopter, with lights on it, to spy on Tony's house. Like maybe there is a foreign government that has the money and the resources to send so many. It's like a bunch of them, so many drones over that can just stay up in the air forever and can evade when people try to like shoot them down and everything. Maybe a government has all the money and technology to do that, but they don't have Google Earth. Maybe. And some people think that's very dumb. Some people think, oh, what an idiot. Who would think that? But you know what it's not dumber than? Don't worry about it. That's the dumbest thing a person could say. I want to make sure we all understand that. Don't worry about it. Y'all, I am so scared the government is out of money. Don't worry about it. Is the most broke parent thing to say. Yo, don't worry about it. When I was a kid, my dad drove, I think it was a 92 Corsica. And if you don't know what a Corsica is, you're doing great. Don't worry about it. But he drove this 92 Corsica, and the Corsica had a hole in the back on the floor. There was a hole. And one day I just went ahead and said something. I was like, hey, Dad, I know that you drive and I'm back here, so you up there a lot and I'm back here a lot, so you probably didn't know what was... I'm just letting you know what's going on back here because you always up there and I'm always back here. But there is a me-sized hole in the floor of the car. So just in case you ever pick me up and then you don't see me and you're like, I swear I just picked him up. Where is he? I probably went through the hole that's in the back of the car because there's a hole. I see the road and we are going fast. Like there's a lot. I thought we were going fast when I looked out the window. When you look through the hole, we're going light speed. Okay? So what are we gonna do about the me-sized hole in the back? And he was like, don't worry about it. And I was like, that's because we don't have resources. Okay. I had a babysitter one time that was making me some dinner, and I don't know. I'm assuming that the babysitter could only cook what we had in the pantry, and I don't know what the ingredients were, but then when I was served the dish. You ever had something where you're like, should this be on a plate or in a bowl? Because it has enough girth to stand on its own. But it's soupy enough to need some collection, to need some guidance as a dish on where to be, And so I asked my babysitter, I was like, what is this? And she was like, don't worry about it. And I was like, oh, okay. This is a broke meal. That's what's been cooked for me right now, is something that only happens when you have ingredients that cost 23 cents and you put them all together to make a full $2.25 meal. The only thing that you did to cook it was add heat, but you didn't cook. It's all hot. Broke ingredients together on a plate that should be a bowl. Because there's a lot of water running off the side. But don't worry about it, all right? Okay. I remember one time my shoulder was popping a lot. It was like just and like I was like kind of a gangly kid to begin with. So like I don't know what I did, but it was just popping all the time. And I was like, "Hey, Dad, my shoulder Can you hear it? It's popping a lot. It's like popcorn. It's like it's going a lot. Like, does this ever happen to you? And he was like, no. I was like, should we go to like a doctor or something? Because like I just want to know, is it bad? It doesn't hurt, but it is popping a lot. It's moving. It doesn't want to be my shoulder anymore. Like, it's moving all up in there while being kind of still, but like it's not pop. It doesn't hurt, but it's a lot of movement. And my dad was like, don't worry about it. And to this day, my shoulder pops quite a bit. So when the government tells you don't worry about it, it makes you worry about that specific thing. There are some people that think it's aliens. They think that is aliens that are trying to make contact and bolder than ever letting us know that they're here, that they're visiting. And okay. I don't think it's aliens because I just don't know if aliens. I'm really not being disparaging when I say this. I'm just being honest. If you cross dimensions, I don't know if Jersey would be the first stop. And that's. And I know people from Jersey, and they will tell you if I cross dimensions, I'm probably hitting up, Cairo. I mean, I'm hitting up someplace that's a bit more exotic, But mostly, I just hope it's not aliens. I hope that it's not aliens because we as humans, this isn't the time to visit us. Like, this is. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're not putting our best foot forward as humanity to get visitors right now. Do you know what I mean? Like aliens coming to see us now would be the equivalent of me coming to see you at 4 a.m. It's like you're just not at your best. You like kind of have morning breath, but kind of not. Like it's bad. No, I don't think aliens would. If aliens are going to come, they should have done it either 30 years ago or 100 years from now. I think that humanity is not. We're not good for visiting right now. You know what I mean? Like, mainly because we're the only species. Every other species of everything on the planet, every other species of animal is doing their best to evolve. They're trying to go in the direction that forwards the species that, do you know what I mean? That they will still be around, hopefully. In spite of us, by the way. They're doing everything that they can to still be. Frogs. Frogs have the sense. There will be a frog off by itself doing something weird that the other frogs are like, don't go over there. Don't, like, that's not gonna help. That's not helpful at all. And the frog will be doing something like jumping upside down or whatever, like just bouncing upside down over and over again. And the other frogs are like, don't mess with that. Because they know it doesn't help. They don't look at that frog and go, he just asking questions. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he a free thinker. That's what that is. That's why he jumping upside down. Why y'all all jumping right side up like some sheep frogs? Why don't you start bouncing upside down for no reason? See if that doesn't do something to your mind. No. They're like, that's not going to be helpful. And let's all just kind of get that out of the gene pool as best as possible. No, we're not serious at all. It's painful. Genuine. And I'm not just talking about like Americans, by the way. Like we're so self-referential sometimes that it's like any critique of humanity sometimes sounds like I'm just critiquing the. I'm talking about people, all of us, planet Earth, all of us. We're not doing the things that would take to make a better world just for us. You know, everywhere you go, it's happening. I don't know if you was seen it. It was in Peru. In Peru, there was a drug bust. There was a drug bust where where the national police raided this drug house, and who knows if it was like a crack house or a drug warehouse or a kingpin's lair or whatever, but it's where the drugs were. And the head top cop that's leading the charge, leading the raid, led the raid dressed as the Grinch. That's unfair to everybody in this situation, all right? That's not right. Imagine, you in there. You deal drugs, you cook drugs, whatever, but you putting the drugs in a little baggie. And then you hear a boom, boom. Somebody has knocked down your door. And you look up. And it's the Grinch. And you think to yourself, actually, you know what? Actually, I do have a sinus infection. No, I do have a sinus infection. I have a sinus infection, and I've been blowing my nose all day, and I've been like taking the Mucinex and everything, but like I have a sinus infection, and then, you know, my nose has been a little runny too, and then when it's runny, you don't want to gross out your coworkers and everything, and so you do a little, and I must have what we making, because that's the only way that it makes sense that the Grinch and the police are here together at the same time. I must have accidentally did what we doing in here to be seeing the Grinch and the police at the same time. Because he didn't just run up in there as the Grinch. This dude, he had the battering ram. And then he goes in. After they break down the door, he goes in and then dropped the battering ram too. Unarmed, just came in character like the Grinch. This man came in high knees. Just... This man came in high kneeing like the Grinch. That's unfair to the police officers doing the raid, because imagine you about to raid this house, right? And you don't know what could be in there. If they got drugs in there, they might got money in there. And if they have money in there, then they probably got some weapons in there to protect that money, protect those drugs from other gang members or just from the police, right? So you are about to risk your life going in. You fit it up. You have the AR-15 and everything. You getting ready to go. But then ahead of you... your leader is going in dressed like the Grinch. And then he battered the door down and run in. You got to run after him and make sure not to accidentally shoot him while he over here high-kneeing in front of everybody, moving all crazy. Because they did everything like you would normally see in a raid, like, get on the ground, everything. But then the Grinch... Sometimes people try to get in character, and I don't think they understand the character, because I need to listen to it again, admittedly, but I swear he was making noises that the Grinch doesn't make. So then they were like, get on the ground, and then he was like, it's like, that's not in there though. That's not in the movie. That's not in the book. What is that? That's not, you're not even speaking Spanish or anything. Just it's like, in what work? Because you can tell, even as they getting arrested, they're like, but is he with y'all? Like, no, I'm getting on the ground. I'm asking though. Like, he's just moving all weird in here. Like, what is that? I'm getting on the ground. I'm just saying. You know, you see a country like Peru. I don't know the drug laws. I don't know the sentences that crimes like that carry, but I can tell you honestly right now that they subjected those people to cruel and unusual punishment because they caught them, right? And then I think the three main ones, they made them take their mug shot with the Grinch. And it's like... What other reason could there be other than to ruin a person's life? To completely diminish all street credibility. Than to make them take a mug shot with the Grinch. They over here... And I'm sure they didn't answer any questions, because if you can Google this, look at the picture later. You see them in the picture being like... Like, why he over here? Like, the police never take a picture with us. It's three of them lined up holding. And then the Grinch over here taking poses. Looking all proud. Because it seems very dangerous to like go in there, battering ram, and run up in there as the Grinch, but maybe it's not. Maybe he knew that if you run up in there as the Grinch, people so confused that they don't fire right away. They literally like... You see the Grinch, right? No, we're not as serious people. Not at all. No. It's okay. I've been very excited to come back to Portland because I came here in February for some shows. And normally, when you do comedy, you go places like once a year, because usually when you go somewhere, the place you went to is like, that's enough. We get it. We get what you do. Give us some time. But I was able to come back, so soon, and I love being here. I love doing shows here and everything. I love coming to Portland because y'all don't wait. You hit people with Portland as soon as they land. Like, it's like... I landed in Portland, and my Uber driver to the hotel told me everything. It's the whole backstory. It was a lot. Okay, so off top, right? So he basically was in a relationship, then married, and is now divorced from, apparently, the devil. And so then... So him and Satan, they still share a child, a cat, and a timeshare. And sharing all these three things with Lucifer has really made it difficult. It's made his life very hard. And I was listening to all of the woes of each thing, like the child, the cat, the timeshare, and I was like, oh, okay, well, if I'm being honest, you only really gotta love like two of those. You know what I mean? Like the timeshare. The whole point of a timeshare is that sometimes you're there and sometimes you're not. So like, just be there when the devil's not there, and then let the devil have it sometimes, because that was always what was gonna happen. The cat, look. I know you love the cat, and the cat loves you, and Satan's in the way. But I promise you, if you get a cat that look like that cat, it'll be like having that cat. I can almost guarantee. I'm not saying every cat is the same. I'm just saying that a lot of cats, when he described the cat to me, he was like, oh, she likes to cuddle sometimes, and she sleeps most of the day. And I was like, that's cat. If you can get one that look just like her, you'll feel like she there. You don't even have to clone her. That is a cat up and down. That's everything you just described is everything I've ever known a cat to do. So, a little standoffish sometimes, likes to sleep a lot, climbs a little bit. Yep, you have a cat, sir. No need to share custody on this one. Just get an extra cat, and then that way, if you have two cats, actually, you know what y'all need to do? Y'all need to reverse parent trap this thing. You get a cat that look exactly like that cat, and you put them in a room together, and then you just shake the door a little bit, and then when you open the door, you each just grab a cat, and I guarantee you, it'll be like having that cat, right? And then it's like a Schrodinger's cat, because you won't know if the cat is the cat or if the cat is your cat. And you can just enjoy life with your cat that's yours in your head or not. Who knows? No one cares. The cat won't care. I guarantee you, the cat does not care. This whole custody battle over the cat, sometimes it's at your place, sometimes it's at hell with Satan. That whole thing is nothing to the cat. The cat is like, I'm a nap regardless, right? The child, yes, that is rough, to be fair. That is very rough. You share a child with someone that you can't stand, and if anything, I think that y'all should probably really figure out your differences, because you seem to have so much anger, and from the story that you're telling me, the devil also has a lot of burning fire, anger towards you, and I don't know. I mean, the opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference. If you really didn't care, you would know that you've fully fallen out of love with this person, but because you still have so much passion involved, you should really check in on that, because that's something that you got to be careful, because, you know, what if in all that passion, maybe y'all rekindle a little bit because you care so much, and then what if you accidentally, just in a fit of passion, y'all make another kid? That would be like the cat thing, but worse, because the cat thing is a solution. Two kids with someone that you hate is a big problem. That's double the problem, right? And so then, you know, I guess he wasn't really trying to hear what I was saying, but I only said any of that stuff because I was like, if you tell me your whole life, I thought that you would want some notes on what was going on. I didn't think that you would tell me your whole life and then just be expecting me to. You might as well talk to yourself when you're in the car alone. If you don't expect me to respond to any of it, like, so then I just laid it all out for him the way that I saw it, you know? Go ahead and, like, let the devil share your timeshare and everything. Go ahead and get another cat. Make sure you figure out the problem so that you can raise this child in a healthy environment. And I don't know if I rubbed him the wrong way or something, but he was like, hey, we've been here. Like, you can get out at any point. And to be fair, we had been at my destination for like 15 minutes. Like, I was just sort of in the car chopping it up with him because honestly, we got to my hotel during the timeshare portion. So like the cat and the kid was just, I was trying to get my thoughts out real quick. And he was like, yeah, but I do, this is my job. And I'm trying to leave, right? And I was like, all right, but I just thought that maybe it would be helpful. Yeah, I thought it would help, you know, to let you know. And like, hey, you know, you're a good person and everything. You clearly an open person. You told me everything, and you don't know me at all, and you don't know who I'll tell. And so the idea that you're so trusting is like both a pro and a con of being in relationships, because it's like you're trusting enough to like pour out your heart to a total stranger, but also sometimes that trust can either be betrayed or misused, which is what it sounds like the devil did to you according to your story and everything. And he was like, I can get your suitcase for you if you need
San Antonio, Texas, please make it loud for Josh Johnson!
If I'm truly being honest with y'all, one thing I've not been able to stop thinking about is the tariffs. It's like is all I can think about, because all I read about, because it seemed like everybody is like, oh, this is bad. I know people who do not watch the news at all that are like, why is everything red? Did everybody change logos or something? Every time I turn on TV, everything red. What is that? My TV bleeding. Something going on. No. In case you have not been aware, in case you're trying to protect yourself and go about your day, there's been a bit of a trade war going on. The wildest thing about a trade war is that you are allowed to, like, okay. I was trying to put this in perspective. Okay, you know how when you were like on the playground and, you know, somebody would be like, my dad can beat up your dad. And you were like, oh, you think your dad can beat up my dad? It's like, yeah, I think my dad can beat up your dad. And then, you know, kid one over here is like, yeah, well, my dad goes to CrossFit. And, you know, kid two is like, yeah, well, my dad has been to jail. Sort of the CrossFit of life. So I bet you my dad can beat up your dad. And then, you know, other kid, CrossFit kid, dad is like, you know, my dad, he has swords. He has swords, so you can try to beat him up, but he'll chop your dad up. And then kid two is like, well, my dad has guns. That's actually why he had to go to the CrossFit of life. It's because he has lots of those. A couple swords too, but he prefers to bring the guns when he has issues. And then, you know, CrossFit, sword, dad, kid. It's like, yeah, well, my dad is 6'5", so he could definitely beat up your dad. And then, you know, gun, jail. Kid is like, oh, my dad is 5'2", so he has quite a chip on his shoulder. So your dad will be dying, all right? And that's kind of what a trade war is like. You know what I mean? It's like nothing has to happen in the moment, but it is a lot of being behind the desk like, I bet you my economy can beat up your economy. And yeah, we know that Trump loves tariffs because even in his first term, he had a lot of tariffs on China for steel and everything. And he campaigned on tariffs and what he thought tariffs would do, at least what he says that they'll do for the U.S. economy in the long run. And so we know that he is serious about the tariffs. I think there were definitely some people that thought that he wasn't serious about the tariffs, and that was a mistake because he was very serious about the tariffs. He was so serious about the tariffs that apparently, now look, I'm gonna do my best here. I am both paraphrasing for the sake of brevity and going off of things that I've read and things that I've been told, and I am not an economist, so I'll do my best job, but I'm telling you, I'm gonna be wrong, okay? But I'm gonna be as close to right as possible on purpose. But apparently this man loves tariffs so much that right when he took office, there were economists, conservative, Trump voting Republican economists who, while leaning right, still understand the economy. They still, that's not a dig. I'm saying that the two things can exist together. I'm saying that they understand the economy and they vote the way they vote, but they know the numbers, is what I'm saying. Because I'm not an economist, they understand the economists, kind of. So they immediately went to work coming up with tariff plans, so that way, whenever Trump wanted to enact his tariffs, they would have the numbers ready, right? And so they did all the math, and they did all the going back and forth, and did all the figuring out that could be figured. You know, and then they went to Trump, and he wasn't happy with the plan, apparently, because in order to enact the tariffs the way that he wants, the numbers, a lot of them at least, were quite small. So then Trump, paraphrasing, but he was like, what is this 1.7? What is this 2.8, these 2.3, this 0.8? No, we need big numbers. We need to impress the people. You gonna send me out there and embarrass me in front of America? I need big numbers. Get me some big numbers, which apparently is why when he walked out with that poster board, you know that, you saw the board, you know that board that, you saw that poster board, it looked like homework, right? Like that poster board. Yeah, poster board out, and he was going down the line, right? He was going down and just naming places like 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, little bit of jelly donut, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, a little bit of chicken grease. That was not 100, that was a 10, 10, 10, 10, 94. You know, because he hit the world with 10% tariffs. If you were anywhere on earth, you could get this 10. Please don't think you can't get this 10 just because you uninhabited. Anybody can get it. Anybody can get it. Please believe me when I tell you. Anybody can get it. All right? You think you cute because you just got some little aminals on your little island? You still getting it. All right? We don't care. This is America. We do what we do when we feel like it. 10, 10, 10, 34, 10, 10, 10. 10, 78, 10, 10, 10. And it was perplexing. The economists didn't understand it. Top Republicans didn't understand it. Even the people that were in support of Trump and his tariffs couldn't tell you that they really understood it. No one really understood it because there wasn't too much to understand. Everybody who does numbers was like, ooh, this is not numbers. This is not the numbers that I thought it was when I thought we. They were on like CNBC, basically any money channel, any money news channel. When these tariffs went out, they were on there cursing live. They were like, fine us, we don't care, we're all gonna die. You think I care about $10,000? I'll throw you another couple. The dude who does the bleeps must have had money in the market because he was gone. They were up there cursing live. I couldn't believe it. Normally, you'd even see the blurry mouth. I saw them enunciate the swear words. I was like, okay. This might be bad then. If the people who do money all day are upset and they looking at the red and everything look upside down on the graphs, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to go up like this. Yeah, I mean, you getting a little low, Dow. That Dow Jones was not playing. That Dow Jones was like, hey, I'm dead, y'all. No. Yeah, that S&P 500 was down to 5. It was bad. It's like these were rough moments we were in, and nobody really understood why. We lost $3 trillion of value in the market in a day. People were showing me pictures of the stock market and the S&P and the Dow, and then their portfolio, and I was like, man, we got to pick a different color because that much red ain't good for your eyes. But yeah, apparently, there were economists that tried to figure out something that would do what Trump said they wanted to do, but he was like, no, I need to go out to the people and really make a statement, and I need to make a statement for the other nations so they take this thing seriously. So, 10, give me some 34s, give me some 55s, take anything, just bring it all to me. And they were like, sir, that isn't math. That may not work, but Trump was so dead set on going to other countries like, you get a tariff, you get a tariff, you get a tariff, like an opposite Oprah, like a reverse Oprah. You get a tariff, you cry and take that tariff, right? And now this part, I hope, is not true. I'm repeating it because I've read it like in 5 different places. It's been told to me 3 different times, but apparently he sort of sent away the plan that the actual economist wrote up, and then he asked someone else to draw up a plan that would do the tariffs truly bigly, right? Like we really making a statement. And in doing that, they did, apparently, I don't want this to be true because it means we're all doomed, but apparently they did ask ChatGPT what to do which I don't know. I feel like even when they typed that in to ChatGPT, Chat was like, you sure, dog? Which is a fitting bit of irony, though. It is kind of funny to me that like ChatGPT wrote up a formula that was then applied that then tanked the stock of the company that owns ChatGPT. Like It's a beautiful little closed loop. But ChatGPT went ahead and did its thing. You know, they asked him, hey, how can we tariff the whole world and not have everybody die? And ChatGPT was like, I don't know about the die part, but I will get you a little formula real quick. And it went, and then it dropped this formula. And that's the same formula that they've been showing. Now, this formula, it does have all the components of like a math equation. It's got the parentheses in there. It's got some X and some Y. Has a little cursive. It has that little squiggly thing for when you divide it, I think. It has everything that you've ever like looked at a meme about confusion that was coming at you. It's in there. It's all that stuff. All that beautiful mind drawing stuff is what's in the thing. It's got some tops. It's got some bottoms. It's got some other like little symbols rubbing together and everything. But apparently, when plugging in any type of numbers into this equation, they still got the math wrong. So no matter if this thing came from ChatGPT or if it came from some mathematic genius, when applied, it was still applied wrong because the tariffs more went towards... the tariff amounts more went to trying to reciprocate the amount of money with countries that we had a deficit with than the actual like reciprocal tariff, if that makes sense. Like we applied that thing as if, oh, they're just tariffing us this much, so we're going to tariff them the same amount. But rather than actually doing that, we were like, here is some math just to make everybody confused real quick, and then we'll actually go ahead and slap a tariff on them for their deficit or for their surplus, which also does not make any sense because then we're both punishing people who buy a lot from us and punishing the people we sell to off the things that we sold them to make things for us, right? So it's basically like being in a bad marriage where like it's like being in a bad marriage where it's like, well, I don't know why you hate me. You married me. Like, I don't. I'm just over here being your husband. I don't really get why you so mad at me right now. Ooh, you hate me, but you married me. Anyway. And so that is partially where we landed, which is distressing. You know, that first day, these tariffs get applied, the markets react and everything, and $3 trillion of value is just gone, sort of wiped out in the moment. And then the next day, it was worse, because the next day they were like, oh, we still doing it? Because we can get redder. We can get, oh, we haven't even broke out all the red in the crayon box yet. We can keep getting red. And then there was like another $6 trillion loss, like over time. But like we were at $6 trillion, I think, by like that Friday at 4 p.m. or something. And then we lost money over the weekend, which I didn't even think was possible. I thought the whole point of the market closing was to close. Don't keep counting. That doesn't feel fair to me, to keep counting even though we closed and now I owe more than I owed before. That's not fair at all. But then when Japan opened up and Japan was plunging about 8% on their market, and then our futures were also our futures, you know the future, you know the thing you're supposed to look forward to, that was also looking bleak for us. And then our market opened and the market was like, no, we still dying, dog. I'm not pretending. I'm not going to pretend to know math. You know what I mean? I've met math. I've been affected by math, for sure. Math rules everything around me, yes. But when I tell you that the reason I don't want to hold like public office, I don't want to do any of that stuff, is because I don't want my math to affect anybody else, because I'm bad at it. I'm bad at math. The only time that my math affects other people's lives is when it's my turn to pay at dinner. And that is a bummer for everyone. That is, you can feel it. Okay. When it's my turn to pay for the check and I'm trying to, in my head, out loud, figure out the tip to then add I gotta divide to do the tip, and then I gotta add the number I just divided and then put that together and put that on the total on the merchant copy, all right? We're all up to speed. We've all been to a restaurant. But watching me do that it instantly feels like what a teacher would make you read in class. but you knew a big word was coming up. You had been trying to sound out this word while teacher was talking about some other stuff because you had already counted the paragraphs. Teacher making everybody go one paragraph for paragraph for paragraph, and you like, okay, I'm sitting here, which means I'm 8 paragraphs away. That's my word. Oh no! And so then you trying to sound out the word in your head, but you can't sound out in your head. So you're like, maybe I'm not even sounding out right now because my head is quiet. And now. And then they get to you and it's your turn to read and you're like reading all good, killing it. You even sounding out the commas, you know what I mean? You see that comma and you go, pause. And then you finally hit that big word and you like, all right. You old enough now, you don't want to sound like you sounded out because everybody will think you can't read even though you read half the paragraph with no problem. You did mic drops on those periods. Anytime there was a period in a sentence, you were like, this good textbook right here. Yeah, what do y'all know about this English lesson, this Chaucer, okay? And then you finally get to the word and you're like, that's a cough. That was a cough. That wasn't even me reading just now. That's. And the teacher goes, scrumptious. I was getting to it. I was getting to it. I was just trying to enjoy the word. I was trying to chew on the word. You the one getting all impatient and stuff. You trying to teach us patience. You're not even patient. That's me. Like at least the closest I come to ruining everybody's life with math is when it's my turn to pay at dinner and I'm trying to factor out loud the tip and I'm hearing me try to do math in my head, hearing a grown man say carry the is not gonna inspire confidence in my abilities, right? If I'm sitting there with the okay, and then you got the two right there. All right. Anytime I gotta do math without a calculator or a pencil, it's a whole conversation. I'm literally sitting there like, all right, so, you know, I'm gonna do 25% because she was killing it, all right? So 25%, that's even better because it's also a quarter. Now I just gotta break this down into 4 parts and then put that line there, right? So now all I gotta do is get you to be still, be still, be still, be still. Stop it. I'm telling a 6 to stop it out loud at the table. Stop moving, all right? So now we gonna carry the 3, and if that 6 will be still, I think we at 9. No, that's up. That's not even division. That's more. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna put a 4 here, and that 4 gonna slide up and trip that 5. Gonna kick the legs up under that 5, and then that's a 1. Why couldn't this be an even number? Why couldn't somebody just order the guacamole like I said? That would have got us closer. Okay, so 7 and 3, that's 10 anyway. So that's 10. So now we know we're going to have a 2 in there. I know y'all want to go. All right? Get in the car then. Get in the car. I'll follow. Yo. And then I get embarrassed I get embarrassed, and so I just write the total twice. And then I'm like, at least if I tip 100%, nobody could be mad at me. But then I'm sitting there like, can I really afford this? Because then I got to get in the car and do the math in my head of my account. I'm like, all right, so we eating on Sunday, all right? Tomorrow is a business day. It's not going to go through till tomorrow. So if I add a 20 to the account, ooh, I'm overdrafting. I'm overdrafting hard. Oh, I don't know what the number is, but I know that fee going to hit. We're in a bad way. One of the biggest problems that I think is facing Americans and the country is that we don't have a sort of cohesive identity of care for each other. So, for instance, something could happen to a large swath of Americans, and there'd be other Americans that are like, all right, good, I don't care, whatever. And I'm not saying any country is perfect. And I know that some of the countries I'm mentioning have at least a little bit of a homogeny to them and everything. But whether you're Portuguese, you're Spanish, you're Italian, you're Brazilian, you're Mexican, when something happens and it happens to your countrymen, you see it as happening to your countrymen because they're all in a country together. They're all like in this thing together. I'm not saying there's not poor and rich and they don't have some of the same problems that we have. I'm not saying that factions haven't split people more than ever before, especially with the internet. I'm just saying that like they can look at a person they don't know and be like, that is my countryman, right? And we haven't had something like that for a long time. There are whole parts of the country that if you put them in a room together, we assume they would fight. We assume that it would come to blows almost immediately, just off of like, hey, do you want to pass the salt? Like, just like not even a political thing, just, it would just happen eventually, you know? And I thought that the connective tissue that we had as a country would put us together cohesively was at least like capital. I thought it was at least money. I thought that money would be at least the one thing that made us go, all right, we should all stop and figure this thing out right now. If it's not money, I don't know what it is. Like visiting another country and seeing it doesn't have to be this way is crazy. I'm surprised that's what we're not allowed to do. I'm surprised we're allowed to still travel. Because if you go anywhere else on like planet Earth, and I'm not talking about every place, I'm just saying, there are places that you look around and you'll be like, y'all don't just punch people in the face for being broke? Y'all don't just... Wow, all right, crazy. Going to another country that's like functioning and seeing how they operate is like going to a functional family's house for dinner. Like, it's just, you're just sitting there astonished. You're like, everybody here? Everybody sitting at the table together? All right. Got mom, got dad, got kids, and invited me over as a guest, and y'all just all smiling. As the dad, you're just sitting there. You're just sitting there asking your kids about their day. Their day at school. What are you doing, dude? What are you doing? You should be abandoning all of them right now. You should be abandoning all of them. You should be going to Vegas and putting it all on black, and then you win. You actually win. You doubled your net worth in a day, and then you put it all on red because you had a feeling, and then you lost it all, and then you're sitting in this casino's cafeteria where there's very nice food, but somehow it's still like a disgusting cafeteria, and you've got these crab legs and these lobster tails in front of you, but you're wondering what you're going to do after tonight because there's nowhere to go because you left home. That's what you should be doing. Not asking your kids, how was school? Like, and then the mom's sitting here. Mom's sitting here, help dad cook the meal. They cooked it together as a family unit. You know, they didn't just fall into general norms. You know, they figured out that he bakes good and she makes great chicken. So she made the chicken, he bakes some bread and everything. And it's all on the table together. They're watching their children eat it for the nourishment of their bodies. Food that they bought through the work that they do. They both work jobs. You have to be a 2-income household now. It can't just be one person working. And so they worked really hard and they bought that food and they cooked that food to the best of their ability. And now it's going to feed their children and give them good nourishment for their bodies. And they don't resent those kids at all. And that's crazy. Like, why aren't you looking at these kids like they ruined everything? Why aren't you telling them what you did before they were born? Like as a dad, you should be telling them, I used to dunk. I used to dunk. All right? I used to have a sick vertical. And then, you know, you came along and I was trying to put your car seat in the car and close the door too fast and slam my knee. I'll never jump again. But enjoy your baked goods. Like, that's the type of dad that you should be. Just over here smiling at them, watching them enjoy your bread. Oh, Dad, it's so good. And as the mom, you're over here working a job, cooking as well, and not resenting anyone here. You did a great job cooking. Rosemary chicken, it's delicious. Succulent, not dry at all. How'd you manage that? How'd you manage not to dry it out? The rosemary's perfectly on there, and you shouldn't be here. You should be cheating. You should be cheating to give your kids something to fight against, okay? You want to make your kid a star athlete, you go out there right now and you cheat. You break up this family so that the only solace they can find is baseball, and then they just hit dinger after dinger every game because they're hitting their trauma. And then one day a scout from a good college, a college they couldn't possibly afford because it's not a 2-income household anymore. One of those colleges comes to scout this kid, and they're like, man, that kid's got trauma, talent. And we have to get him on this school's team, full ride. He goes from that full ride to AAA minor into the majors. And then one day, they're interviewing him at the end of a game where he's hit the dinger that won them the World Series. And he's like, hey, I don't know where, I'm sorry, I'm getting so emotional. I don't know where, my mom and dad are, but just know that I love you and I hope you're watching. And I did this for you, okay? I did this for you. I love you so much. You should be doing that instead of just helping them with their homework. And the kids are like sitting there, well behaved, which is crazy. It's crazy. They're not hitting each other at all. They're not trying to put a fork in the other's temple at all. They're just sitting there enjoying like mom and dad's cooking and everything, laughing at each other's jokes. Hey, I have a joke. Everyone cares. Like, it's insane. You're sitting at a table as a family in America. This should not be happening, all right? You know, as the son, you should be sitting there yelling at your dad, give me back my skateboard or I'll kill you. Like, that's more our speed, you know? And that's what it feels like to just go to another country and watch them go to the hospital when they need to go to the hospital. Like, that's, just watch social safety nets happen and have just like a general care for citizens and stuff. That's what that feels like when it happens. One of the things that makes it so bad is that we have this attitude because of the strength of the dollar and because it is the base of like the world's currency. Everyone compares their currency to the dollar, the strength of their currency, the strength of the dollar, and people would like to be paid in dollars, at least for now. And there's an attitude that we have as Americans that it has to be that way. That we don't know any other way, so it must stay that way. So it really doesn't matter what we do, but it does. It does. All of that belief, all of that standard, with us as a standard, is confidence. And if your partners lose confidence in you, it's not going to be good for you. If your confidence is waning because of moves that have been made and unpredictability, then people will try to figure something else out. That's a little terrifying. I'm not an economist. I don't know how all of it works. I just know that you can only really bully the whole world for so long. Do you know what I mean? There was a flight a couple years ago where on this flight, this dude on the flight stands up mid-flight and is talking wild and reckless. This dude stands up and he's like, I'm gonna kill everybody in here, okay? All right, you're all gonna die. Do you understand me? Every single one of you is gonna bleed and die. And he's making all these weird movements and he is freaking people out, and people are stuck in their seats. They're like paused in their seats. There's only one person who's like taking a little bit of cell phone footage of this dude because nobody knows what this dude is going to do. And he's getting up so confident and he's so scared because I guess he's like a bigger dude as well. And he's like, no, y'all are all going to die. He's clearly having like some sort of mental episode, but at the same time, nobody can know how serious he is or like what his problem is or anything. And people are frozen in their seats, right? And he's like, I'm going to kill every single one of you. You're all going to die. I'm going to crash this plane. And then he tries to get into the cockpit as well. He can't get into the cockpit because that's locked. And finally, this dude goes into, I think it's his back pocket, right? And everybody's expecting a knife, a gun, and this dude has a spoon. And when everyone realized that all he had was a spoon, talking this reckless, they whooped his ass. There was plenty of cell phone footage of that. They were whooping this dude. I know they don't do it on flights anymore because people have allergies, but back in the day, they used to have peanuts on flights. And every once in a while, somebody would open the peanut packet too hard, and the peanuts would go everywhere. They go over the tray table, but then they go in the aisle, and they bounce all down the aisle because the plane was still getting some altitude and everything. And he kind of looked like that peanut. They were passing him around, beating his ass. They were really tossing him back and forth. And then he still had the spoon. Was like, wait. Man, that cracked me up. Wait. They made that man sound like tennis in there. That man, he was using the spoon a little bit. He was like, man. And people were like, all right, fingers and eyes. There were other people who never got the chance to beat his ass that just watched it with their phones, and you could see them just with the eyes going, ooh. And then they restrained him. And then they landed. Cops got on the plane like, damn. I thought we were whooping ass. This man tied down to the seat with seatbelts and duct tape and still got the spoon. And then, in the midst of all this turmoil, all this red, Trump tweeted, or, great time to buy. That's the most unserious thing I've ever heard in my life. Honestly, look. Admit it for a second to yourself. You don't have to say it out loud, but just know in your heart, if this was any other country, you would be laughing your ass off at that. That is very, very, very funny. That is so inappropriate and so funny at the same time. It's basically like somebody driving the car towards your car accident going, wee! And then, because we don't have a serious system, because we're not doing things the way that maybe anybody should do them. Somebody from Trump's administration, I'm pretty sure his cabinet, and I don't want to say the wrong name, but just know that they're in his circle. They went on, maybe it was CNBC, it was one of the major news networks, and they were asked by the anchor, do you think there's any possibility that all these tariffs, all this stuff going out is really just to raise the alarm bells, and that there's a possibility of a sort of 90-day situation, just like with Canada and Mexico? And then that guy said, yeah, the president's going to decide what he wants to decide. He's going to do what he wants to do. But then, off of that, you heard me when I said, yeah, the president's going to decide what he's going to do. Yeah, just off that noise, that noise right there. Yeah. Someone clipped that and tweeted the yeah. And then they said that there was about to be a 90-day pause. And then the market went up $3 trillion because we are not really here, I guess. Like, that's one of the craziest things I've ever heard. I knew money wasn't real before, but I didn't know. That's a noise. He didn't even give it a full yeah. Yeah. $3 trillion from yeah, right? And then it went back down again because the White House came out and was like, we never said that. And so it dropped all the way back. And then like 2 days later, Trump reversed the. He reversed the. 2 days later, he was like, yeah. He reversed the tariffs, and then the market shot up like $3 trillion again. I'm starting to think the market only understands $3 trillion. And I'm not saying I knew it would happen. If I did, I would have made a lot of money, like some of those people that are potentially going to be investigated because they had calls on the market for 2,000%, and then they very rich. Trump even pointed one out. He was like, that guy made $9 billion to whatever he said. And yeah, I'm just saying, I didn't expect it. I did not expect there to be a ton of follow through in that. I'm just saying that when he said, I'm not saying I believe everything he says. I'm saying I thought he believed what he said when he said it. I thought, look, I'm not saying I believe when he says the thing. I don't know if I believe it. But when anyone says what they say, you would think that they would know if they believe it or don't believe it because they said it, because they're alone in there with their head to say it or not say it, and then to know if they're lying or not lying. But then I was not in his head, so I'm like, I don't know, right? But I thought he would know whether or not he meant what he said anytime he speaks, just for himself, not for us. I understand. The man can lie, but this in your head just for you is where I don't think you should be able to fool yourself. I don't think you should be able to trick yourself that way. If you said it, you alone in your head in your room of one should know what you mean when you say it. And I know that doesn't make sense, but it makes as much sense as the tariffs because it is in his head by himself. So, all right. Yeah. That was the thing. That was the thing. And then he, reversed the tariffs on a bunch of countries, except he increased the tariffs on China because they had increased the tariffs on us in the wake of that thing happening. So then it was really just, my dad can beat up your dad. I didn't forget you from before, so just know that my dad can beat up your dad. And then China was like, you don't, look. China made a statement early into the little tariff trade war where they were like, if the U.S. wants a trade war or any other type of war, we're ready and we'll fight to the end. And that's a lot. That's a lot. I thought we were talking about numbers, and that's another place to take it. And then Trump raised it to like almost 150% on, and this is my thing. I'm not an economist. I don't even know math. But can we at least keep the percents in the 100, please? You know what I mean? Because we're getting into some dangerous territory. The only other place that percents have gone over 100 and has been bad for people in this way is Maury. Maury had people on that were 1,000% sure, and they couldn't have been more wrong. They could not have been more fundamentally incorrect. One of my favorite, in case you're not familiar with Maury, in case you have not been blessed with the afternoon programming, the after school watching that was Maury, there were episodes of Maury. Maybe my favorite episode of all time was white woman, white man, black baby, fraternity episode. That was art. So white woman over here, and she's like, that's his baby, Maury. That's his baby. Why won't he take care of his responsibilities more? Okay, so we dated for a while. We would hook up from time to time, and then we broke up. So I was out. You know what I mean? I saw some people, but that's his baby. Look at it. The baby got a head. He got a head. That's his baby. All right. And then I never thought that I would have to say it this way, but then this poor white man had to, in real time, navigate, making sure everyone understood he was not the father while not saying anything horrifically offensive. And to his credit, he really kept a cool head and did his best. He was like, okay, look. We all God's children, all right? Okay, and I mean this with no disrespect to the African-American gentleman baby or the community at large, but he and I are not kin. And then Maury, who is normally the voice of reason, who you think would have his back, says out loud, "You don't think this could be your child?" And this man is sitting here like, Maury, don't make me say it. Are you serious? Look at the screen. And then he read it out. He was like, the DNA results are in. He pulls it out of the envelope and he goes, when it comes to the case of 2-year-old Dalmon Travius, Mike, you are not the father. And of course she was like, no! And she did 6 backflips and ran outside. And then he went, yeah, I know. Y'all be blessed. And that's my thing. It's like if you're gonna be more than 100% sure, you have to be so sure. You have to be right. You have to be correct. And China came out with a statement. I think it was today. It might have been yesterday. I don't know. I just saw it where they were like, due to the U.S. Tariff raise, we will be raising tariffs 125%, and any other raises the U.S. will do in retaliation will be inconsequential and will be seen as a joke in the history of economies. And I'm just saying, maybe you don't want to get into a math contest with China. Y'all been fantastic. Thank y'all so much. Trillion, that's a lot. Trillion, that's a lot. Yeah. That's a lot.